Mark 10:35-45. Then James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came to him. Teacher, they said, we want you to do for us whatever we ask. What do you want me to do for you? He asked. They replied, let one of us sit at your right and the other at your left in your glory. You don't know what you are asking. Jesus said, can you drink the cup I drink and be baptized with the baptism I am baptized with? We can, they answered. Jesus said to them, you will drink the cup I drink and be baptized with the baptism I am baptized with. But to sit at my right or left is not for me to grant. These places belong to those for whom they have been prepared. When the 10 heard about this, they became indignant with James and John, and Jesus called them together and said, you know that those who are regarded as rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their high officials exercise authority over them. Not so with you. Instead, whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be first must be slave to all. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as ransom for many. So, James and John were just doing what we all want to do. Typically, when I first found out, at least in part, the reality of Jesus and his grace, before it was very much like a performance-based religion for me. And once I found out about grace and what he can actually do in me, I just wanted everything at once. I had this long list of items that I wanted, good things, all good things, like fruits of the Spirit. I didn't want to be afraid of anything anymore. And I wanted wisdom. I wanted to love people, like all good things. I just wanted them all at once right now. And ultimately, I think I was asking him for kind of selfish reasons somehow, even though they're all good things. I asked him with wrong motives, which checks out in I think James 1 talks about you ask but you don't receive because you're asking with wrong motives, even if you're asking for a good thing. Like I want to experience what it's like to have those things. But Jesus is talking at the very end. He said, God will give you these things. Basically, like Jesus, he had everything that the Father had. He never spoke on his own. He never did anything on his own. He did and spoke with the Father. And all those things he had, he gave to those around him. He did not use these things for selfish gain, because he didn't look at equality with God something to be used for his own advantage. He looked at it as something to give to those around him, to help him serve those around him, to build up those around him. And notice Jesus also doesn't turn away James and John because they're asking a selfish question. He actually kind of approves of it. He says, yeah, you don't know what you're asking, but then and they're like, yeah, we don't really care. We still want it, I guess. Because then he asked them, can you drink the cup I drink? And they said, yeah, we can. And so Jesus said, all right, you're going to drink the cup I drink and be baptized with the baptism I'm baptized with. They didn't know what they were getting into. But they knew if it's from Jesus, they want it. And I think it's funny how everyone else was indignant. It was just how kind of, we ask. Because that's just how we reason things. It's of course you'd be indignant. That's such a prideful thing, arrogant thing, selfish thing to ask. We would never ask for that, but I don't know. They were just being real. They were just being real with Jesus. And it's best just to be real. If there's anyone you should fake a relationship with, it's not Jesus, because he knows you better than you know you. He knows when, we lie to ourselves all the time. Jesus sees that. He knows you. He knows your needs. He knows your potential. And, don't lie to him. If you're mad, be mad. If you're sad, be sad. And he'll help you, and just listen to him as you bring those things to him. Listen to him, and he'll guide you. So if you've ever Um, you know, feel like a lot of times what happens when the cool kids hang out with the band nerds, they're like, ugh, get me out of here. uh, Give me, like, I'll be nice, because I'm a cool kid, but ugh, get me out of here. That's what I feel like Jesus could have been his whole time on earth. He could have been like, this is just so evil. I hate it here. This is awful. Beam me up back to heaven. This is terrible. But instead, he got on everyone's level. He listened to the people. He knew them, and he served them. And that's what we should do. Like, if you find someone who's weaker faith, who's just strung out with anxiety all the time, and you're Mr. Cool Cucumber, don't lord it over them. Get down on their level, have compassion, have sympathy like Jesus did. If you see someone struggling with the sin that you don't struggle with, hey, you know what? God's still working on them. He just hasn't revealed to them. He hasn't given them a revelation yet that he's already given to you. You wouldn't be free of that sin if it weren't for the Father. You wouldn't be free of anxiety and fear if it weren't for the Father. So you have no reason to lord it over anyone. You need to get on their level and love them and serve them like Jesus did. So if you've ever been to a Bible study where it's just like everyone, like I'm preaching myself, I guess, when I just said that, because I go to the Bible study and everyone, I feel like I'm surrounded by children, and they're all, not that much younger than me, but the number of times I hear these people say, I'm just so overwhelmed at work, and they're just like, it's just, I mean, in my head, I'm like, I like working. Like, that's not, if you're overwhelmed at work, then step up. Like, that's what my head's telling me. It's like, well, what a cool opportunity. You're getting stressed out, maybe step up, because it's just like an opportunity to crush your job and do good. But they're all just like crumbling, like, oh, I'm shook. And I hate that, but God's telling me to chill out, to love him, to pray for him, and be gentle. Don't be such a, Jesus wasn't always a knuckle just pounding people down. He did that sometimes with his disciples, with the men, because he loved them. He was trying to discipline them, but most of the time he was very gentle, and he was very quick to listen, very slow to speak, and slow to get angry. So a bunch of random rants, it felt like, but serve. If Jesus, God of creation, Jesus, the perfect reflection of the Father, the Creator, he's the one that invented time. He's the one that invented laughing and love and kindness. If he did all those things and he came down, got on our level to serve us, to be a servant, he is the perfect role model. We should do that too.